Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And welcome to the science class. And if you are new, I am Cikgu Roni and I will be teaching you in this video science lesson for Brunei Darussalam year 3 only. In this video, year 3. Before we start our lesson, let's recite dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadari wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Okay, for the topic for this week would be, we are still in grouping living things. Before this we have group plants, but then now we talk about grouping living things, that is how animals move. So in our future lessons we shall talk about our future lessons, but the objective for this week would be identifying animals. For this week, to identify the animals, we have learned about animals last week, so we check again whether we remember or not. So the next objective would be grouping animals by how they move. So there are 5 things we need to learn: fly, walk and run, swim, jump and crawl, which I will explain later. So what we need to do is to talk about how the animals move and to group animals according to how they move. Now, grouping animals, before we move on to how animals move, so we talk a little about our lesson for these few weeks, that is to group animals in groups. Number 1 this week, that is to grouping animals by how they move. After this we shall talk about grouping animals by their body covering, and then we talk about grouping animals by what they eat, and then grouping animals by where they live. So for this week we shall talk about this, grouping animals by how they move. Now let's move on by how they move. There are 5 ways on how animals move. There are 5 ways on how animals move. The first one is some animals fly, some animals walk and run, some animals swim, some animals jump, and some animals would crawl. Okay, now these are the 5 ways on how animals move. Now, like, I'm not talking about example like a cat. Example saja. Example like a cat. So a cat can walk and run. Of course, a cat can walk and run. A cat can also jump, but when moving from one place to another, a cat would not jump. Bila ia mau jalan, ia tidak jump. No, ia jalan saja, ia walk. Kalau macam cat. So in this group, yang di sini, this fly, animals tu ia fly saja. Bukan ia pandai jalan. Not that the bird example lah, bird saja. Bukan bird tidak pandai walk. Boleh ia jalan sikit-sikit. Yes, birds can walk a little. But then most of the time, when they want to move from one place to another, they would fly. Bird, it can walk, of course, like pigeon. If anyone went to Syria and there's a group of pigeon, when they want to eat, they walk in the parking lot. Dia jalan kaki sajalah. But then most of the time, when they want to go from one place and to another, they would fly. It's the same thing with this animals that walk or run. Sometimes this animal that walk and run can jump, tapi they don't jump. Most of the time they walk or run. So the same with jumping, animals that jump or animals that swim or animals that crawl. This is what they do. These animals do this when they want to go from one place to another. Okay, contoh. We start with animals that fly. Animals that fly, not this one. This is not animals that fly, so we cancel that. We are talking about this. This is an example of fly. In here, it's a bird that fly, but other animals can fly too. Okay, now let's take a look. Like we have learned last week, this is a finch, a dragonfly, a butterfly, a hawk, a bat, a bee. This is owl, and then macaw, seagull, and heron. So these animals, all these animals, when they want to move from one place and they want to go to another place, they fly. They only fly, except if they have broken their wings. But then, if not, they fly only. Durang terbang saja when they want to move from one place to another. Yang inilah semua ni. That's why we group them in one group. Durang ada animals, contohnya some animals yang boleh terbang. Example saja. Other animals that can fly. Example, chicken. Chicken can fly. Yes, but when they want to move, they don't fly. Kalau dorang kan jalan, dorang dah terbang memanjang. No, they don't fly all the time. No, chicken usually walk or run. Chicken, they have wings. Sama macam ni. It looks like they can fly. Yeah, they do fly a little, but then they don't really fly from one place to another. Dorang jalan saja. So chicken cannot be put here. Chicken cannot be put in this group because chicken usually walk or run. Okay, next example. Okay, not example. Explanation. These animals are grouped together because they can fly. Okay. Most animals that can fly have wings. So these animals, all these animals have wings. Usually animals that have wings can fly. Not all. Tidak semua. Some animals ada sayap have wings but they cannot fly. Some dah dapat terbang, but usually those that have wings can fly. These are birds, bird, but these are not birds. These are insects. They have wings, ada sayap, and they can fly. Okay. Now next, we move on to animals that walk and run. They can walk and they can run, of course. Now, like this is an example of walking. Yeah, walking and running. Okay, this is walking or running, and it's slow motion. Yeah, running. Okay, not this one. In the internet, you would watch this sometimes. In the internet, there are videos about this kind of animal. This is a lizard, and lizard, it looks like running, but actually no. Lizards don't really run. Sometimes they sprint like this one, like in this picture. Sometimes they sprint, but only when they are in danger. They need to save themselves, so they sprint. This one like a few seconds. Okay. So we cancel that out. Okay. So examples of animals that walk and run would be lion, horse, elephant, giraffe, ostrich, and leopard. So these animals, all these animals in this picture can walk and run. So when they want to go from one place to another place, they walk or they run. Like this one, this is an ostrich. Ostrich have wings. But why do we put ostrich in this group? Because ostrich, even though it have wings, ada sayap, but then they cannot fly. They only walk and run. Ostrich ada sayap, they have wings, but they do not fly. Okay, so the ostrich can be placed in this group. Ia berjalan saja. It walk only or run. Okay, now some animals are grouped together because they walk and run on land. Animals that can walk and run have legs. So these animals have legs. Of course, they have legs. Okay, next example, next group would be animals that swim. So what is swimming? Swimming is like this picture. So this is swimming, and usually animals swim, not usually, always, of course, always animals swim in water. Animals will swim in water. They cannot swim in the air. If it's in the air, in the sky, it will be called flying. But swimming in water, any kinds of water, maybe it's the sea, or maybe it's the river, or a pond, or a swimming pool. So we call that we can group that animals in animals that can swim. So if you check here, this is the sea dragon and dolphin, orca, shrimp, squid, seal. This is a butterfly fish, and clownfish. So these animals, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 animals can swim. So this can be grouped in animals that swim, only swim. When they want to move from one place to another, they swim. Yeah, sometimes you can see dolphin that jumps. Dolphin jumps over the water from, ya, lompat dari air, it jumps over the water like that sometimes. But we do not group dolphin in animals that jump. We group it in animals that swim only. When they want to move from one place to another place, they only swim. Okay, and last one, stingray. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 animals can be grouped in animals that can swim. Okay, these animals are grouped together because they all move by swimming. They only swim. These animals have tails, ada ekor, tails, and fins, ada sirip like this one. This is called fins. Fins. This is called fins. They have fins. Take a look here, like this. We call that fins. Some like this, no fins, but they have tail, ada tail, and so on. So usually these animals, they all swim, and they have tails, and they have fins. Not all animals yang ada tail to swim. Like cat ada tail, but cat swim juga kadang-kadang. But when the cat want to go from one place to another, cat do not swim. But this animal, they all swim. And one more, they live in water. This animal live in water, or around water, or dekat-dekat air, like seal. Seal would live near the sea. Seal cannot live, yang dia boleh tinggal on the football field. It cannot live there. It only live near the sea. Okay, let's move on with the next group, animals that can jump. That is not that one. That's a not jumping cat. Take a look again. That's a fail. Okay, now what I mean is like this: animals that always jump when they want to move from one place to another. So examples of animals that can jump would be a grasshopper. Grasshopper can jump and also fly. Remember, grasshopper have wings. Half the times they would jump from one grass to another grass, and sometimes they would fly. But grasshopper can be placed in this group, animals that jump. Rabbit, of course, frog, and kangaroo. There are many more. Example would be toad. Toad is like a frog but different. And wallaby is like a kangaroo but smaller. So these animals uh, jump from one place to another. We group them in the same group. These animals have strong hind legs. Hind legs means ni, behind legs, kaki belakang. This leg, and this leg. They have strong legs. They have strong back legs, hind legs we call them. Okay, hind legs is this, kaki belakang is called hind legs. Next. Next group will be animals that crawl. Crawl means crawling. Crawling means not that one, that's Spider-Man. Yeah, that's crawling too, actually. That is crawling. Or baby would crawl. Baby that cannot yet walk is also crawling. Ya, merangkak. Merangkak dalam bahasa Melayu. So this is also crawling, but we are talking about something like this, animals that crawl. Now, if you can see here, examples of animals that crawl would be a lizard, ant, snapping turtle, a scorpion, what is this? Tarantula, a millipede, and a crocodile. So these animals are grouped together because they can crawl, they crawl from one place to another. When they want to move, they crawl. Cikgu, buaya, crocodile swim juga. Yes, it's not wrong. Crocodile also swim, but usually when they move on land, they would crawl. They can crawl. Crocodile do not swim all the time. They do swim when they want to move very far away, but they are grouped in crawl too. These animals' body is close to the ground. If you notice here, all these animals that crawl, sama ada either the body, when they want to walk or crawl, when they want to crawl, the body touches the ground. Ini ground, tanah. So it touches like that, the body like a crocodile, the body touch the ground, or close to the ground like ant, semut, ya close, like this, more or less. If a cat is very high from the ground like this, yeah, if this is a cat, so this is the ground, is very far away from the ground, more or less like this. But if it's crawling, the body is close to the ground or touches the ground like that, and it moves like that. Jatuh. That is what we call crawling. Crawling, merangkak. The body is very close to the ground, or on the ground like snapping turtle, like this one. Like this one, snapping turtle. The body is on the ground, like crocodile. The body is on the ground. So this is called crawling. They have 4 or more legs. Usually, animals that crawl have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 legs or more. Like this one, 6 legs, and this one 6 legs, and this one 8 legs. 8 legs, and this one many legs. I'm not sure how many, but many legs. So these animals crawl when they want to move from one place to another. Excellent. Now we have talked about 5 groups of animal and grouped them based on how they move. We talked about animals that fly, animals that walk and run, and then animals that swim, animals that jump. Some animals can only crawl. 5 animals, 5 groups. 5 groups of animals. We group them based on how they move. So let's take a look. Week 4. This is supposed to be week 4. Week 4 exercises. Week 4. Now remember, we are now in week 4. Read your notes. I will provide you with the notes from this video and some more extra notes. You can read that. You can also print that out. Remember, you can print out or save the notes. Remember, you can print out or save the notes. If you print the notes out, you can put it in the file, put in the files, in your files, or you can stick in your book so you can read it later. Okay, do the exercise provided through Microsoft Form. I provide through Microsoft Form. Sometimes I use Google Form, but usually I use Microsoft Forms. Okay, let's recap lesson week 4. Lesson week 4, animals can be grouped by how they move. Okay, and then some animals fly, some animals fly, some animals walk and run, some animals swim, some animals jump, and some animals crawl. So there are 5 groups of animals based on how they move. And some animals slide. Now talking about slide or slithered animals such as we do not learn here, we do not learn in year 3, but as an extra information, animals like snakes or snail, they slide or slithered, they say. Menggelongsor, animals like snakes do not have legs, neither kaki. They do have scales, but then they cannot walk, they cannot fly or jump or swim. We call them slithered or slide pun boleh, for snakes or snail. Okay, thank you for watching the lesson. You must, if you are new, subscribe. Here, subscribe there. This way, no, there. Subscribe there. Subscribe. No, don't click there. Click under the YouTube channel. Subscribe and share this video to your family and friends. Friends, they are in year 3. You can share the same video to them so we can take advantage of this video. We can learn it together. And remember, this is year 3 for Brunei Darussalam. And to those who are watching, thank you for watching. We see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.